believe in ghosts? What if I told you there are spirits that don't just haunt old houses, but actually try to steal someone's life? In Bengal, there's a legend of such a spirit, a tormented soul known as the SHAKCHUNNI. This isn't your typical ghost story. A SHAKCHUNNI is the spirit of a married woman who died with unfulfilled desires, especially the desire to live a full married life. They're consumed by envy, forever watching happy wives and longing for the life they lost. Their name comes from Shanka, the white conch shell bangles, and Chunni, a red scarf, both symbols of a married Hindu woman in Bengal. They're said to live in shora trees, those eerie, gnarled trees you often see near ponds, waiting for their chance. Tonight's story is about Rohan and Priya, a young couple who just moved into a beautiful old house on the outskirts of Calcutta. It was their dream home, with a large garden and a serene pond nearby, shaded by a massive, ancient shora tree. They were so excited to start their new life together. The first few weeks were pure bliss. Rohan would commute to the city for work, while Priya, an artist, found inspiration in the rustic charm of their new surroundings. She loved spending her afternoons by the pond, sketching the twisted branches of the old tree. But as the days turned into weeks, a subtle change began to creep into their perfect life. It started small. Priya began having vivid, unsettling dreams. She dreamt of being a bride, but not in her own wedding dress. She was wearing old-fashioned, traditional Bengali attire, heavy with gold jewelry. She would wake up feeling a strange sense of longing, a sadness that wasn't her own. Then, things in the house began to move. A pair of her Shanka bangles, a wedding gift from her mother, would go missing from her dresser and reappear by the window overlooking the pond. Rohan dismissed it as forgetfulness, blaming the stress of moving. But Priya knew she had placed them securely in her jewelry box. One evening, Rohan came home late to find the house unusually quiet. He called out for Priya, but there was no answer. He found her standing by the pond, staring blankly at the shora tree. Her hair was down, and she was wearing a red and white sari he'd never seen before. When he touched her shoulder, she flinched, turning to him with eyes that seemed distant, almost unfamiliar. "Did you know?" she said, her voice a low whisper, "that a woman's happiness is in her home with her husband." Rohan was taken aback. Eat was an old-fashioned thing for the modern, independent Priya to sing. He tried to laugh it off, suggesting they go inside for dinner, but the coldness in her gaze seemed to shiver down his spine. The strange occurrences escalated. Priya's personality began to shift dramatically. The vibrant, cheerful woman Rohan had married was replaced by someone demure, quiet, and possessive. She stopped painting, instead spending her days cooking elaborate traditional meals and obsessively cleaning the house. She insisted on wearing only saris, her hair always tied in a neat bun. She started talking about customs and traditions Rohan had never heard her mention before. It was as if she was trying to become the perfect, traditional wife, but it felt like a performance, a hollow imitation. Rohan felt like he was living with a stranger. The breaking point came one night during a power outage. Rohan was lighting candles when he saw a reflection in the darkened window pane. It was Priya standing behind him. But for a split second, her reflection wasn't her own. He saw a different woman, older, with sharp, hungry eyes, her face contorted in a look of pure envy. Espun, Adolund, and it was just Priya, smiling sweetly at him. But the image was burned into his mind. He was terrified. He started researching local folklore, frantically searching for an explanation. His search led him to the terrifying legend of the SHAKCHUNNI. He read about how these spirits possess newly married women, slowly taking over their bodies and lives, driven by a desperate need to experience the married life. They were denied. They are drawn to symbols of marriage, like these Shanka bangles. Everything clicked into place. Priya's changing personality, her obsession with tradition, the misplaced bangles, her strange fixation on the shora tree by the pond, the woman he saw in the reflection. It must have been the spirit trying to take hold. Rohan knew he had to act fast before he lost his wife forever. Desperate, Rohan sought the help of an elderly Oja, a local exorcist his frantic research had led him to. The old man, with kind but weary eyes, listened patiently to Rohan's frantic story. He nodded grimly. "The shora tree, by the water," he said, "is a gateway. The SHAKCHUNNI has latched on to The Oja explained the ritual they needed to perform. It was dangerous and had to be done on the night of the new moon, when the spirit world is closest to our own. The plan was set. On the new moon night, Rohan had to lure Priya to the Shora tree. The Oja would be waiting. As dusk fell, the atmosphere in the house grew heavy, oppressive. Priya, or rather, the entity controlling her, seemed to sense that something was wrong. Her eyes were sharp and suspicious. Where are we going? Hospital. She asked. Exposed to the silence that was terrifying. Rohan's heart hammered in his chest. But he forced to smile. Just a word. It's a beautiful night. She followed him, her steps unnervingly graceful. As they approached the tree, the air grew cold. The Oja stepped out from the shadows, chanting ancient mantras and sprinkling holy water. The effect was instantaneous. Priya screamed, a sound that was not her own, but a chilling, guttural shriek of rage and pain. Her body contorted, and she lunged towards the Oja, her face twisted into the same malevolent mask Rohan had seen in the window's reflection. The spirit was fighting back, refusing to let go of its prize. The Oja held up a small brass idol of the goddess Kali and continued his chanting, his voice rising in power. Rohan, though terrified, followed the Oja's earlier instructions. He grabbed Priya's hands, trying to hold her still. Her strength was unnatural, inhuman. Priya, fight it. Remember us, Rohan shouted, his voice cracking with desperation. He talked about their first date, their wedding day, their dreams for the future, trying to reach the real Priya buried deep inside. For a moment, her frantic struggles ceased, her eyes cleared. A tear rolling down her cheek. Rohan, she whispered, her voice weak. But then, the entity reasserted its control. She is mine, it shrieked, its voice echoing through the night. The Oja knew they were running out of time. He threw a pouch of mustard seeds, consecrated with powerful mantras, directly at the base of the Shora tree. As the seeds hit the trunk, the tree seemed to grow. The spectrum, feminine form was ripped from Grace's body. Howling high, it was the ghostly figure of a bride, her face in a mask of eternal sorrow and envy. Priya collapsed into Rohan's arms, unconscious. The ghostly figure floated and dissolved into smoke, its connection severed. The Oja warned Rohan that they had to leave the house immediately and never return. The next morning, they packed a few essential belongings and left, not even daring to look back at the house or the ancient, cursed tree by the pond. Life slowly returned to normal. Priya had no memory of the past few weeks, just a hazy feeling of a nightmare she couldn't quite recall. Rohan never told her the full story, wanting to protect her from the horrifying truth. But sometimes, in the dead of night, he wakes up from a dream of a woman in a red and white sari, her eyes burning with a desperate, unending envy. He knows they were lucky. They escaped. But he also knows that somewhere out there, by a quiet pond shaded by a gnarled old tree, a lonely spirit might still be waiting, forever watching, forever wanting a life that isn't hers. So if you ever feel an inexplicable sadness, a longing that doesn't feel like your own, just be careful. You never know who might be watching you.